Hi, Facebook friends. Helen Archontou here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. So happy to have some time with you today. If you're in New Jersey, it's chilly out there today. It's winter for sure, although I know it isn't technically winter, but it's feeling like winter. But we're happy that hopefully you're cozy inside and ready for a great conversation. Those of you that are regulars know that Thursdays are when we share the mic now with Black women in our community to share their stories. And I don't know why it's taken us so long to chat with Tanisha Russell Day, who's our guest today. And the reason I say that is because Tanisha is a very long time friend of the YW, and I consider her one to myself as well. And she's a powerhouse, and you're gonna love our conversation today. I was so excited to finally get to talk with her, and I don't know why. Again, I don't know why it took us so long to have you on here, my friend. But I'm so grateful to have this time with you. And so let me tell those of you who don't know Tanisha a little bit of about her. And I know that she has a big fan club. They're all on here already. I see our friend Hollis and Shawana, and I see Rona. We've got a good crew already growing. So here's the thing. I've said her, shared her background before, not so long ago, because she was a twin honoree for the YWCA. But what I can tell you is, since we honored her in twin, she has added so much to her resume and to her background, because that's the kind of person she is. She is always out there in our community doing good for herself, doing good for others. She's just an inspiration. So let's get to it. And hello, Tiffany. Good morning to you too. We've got Tiffany with us also. So Tanisha is the founder and managing consultant of Key HR Consulting. She strives for results with a proven track record of accomplishments in a variety of human resources and management arenas. She holds an MBA in management with a concentration in human resources and a Bachelor of Science with a double major in management, organizational behavior, and human resources management from Rider University, where she currently serves on the Alumni Board of Directors. Tanisha is a human resource consultant that brings 20 years of experience to her clients. She is the head of talent acquisition for Rose Associates in New York City and has worked as an adjunct professor at Hampton University and Berkeley College. She is also a vice president of brand management for Brooks Media Group and has served as the career editor for Diva Zone magazine. She is on the ministerial staff at the Miracle Temple Pentecostal Church in Jersey City, and on the executive board of Iota Epsilon Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Out of all of her accomplishments, and let me just tell you something, they're not even all on here. I know that because I know her. There's much more to her. Out of all of her accomplishments, she's most proud of being the mom of her 15-year-old son, Lawrence. And Lawrence, now say Nehemiah.
Lawrence Nehemiah. Yep.
Nehemiah. I want to make sure. And then, and I know her wonderful mom. She's got an amazing, wonderful, supportive family around her always at all times as well. So welcome, Tanisha.
Do you ever have an out-of-body experience when someone is reading about you and you're like, wow, that person's pretty cool? And
that happens to be you.
And you're just like, wow, they're talking about me. I definitely take it as a blessing every single day. Thank you, Helen, so much for allowing me to be here. I appreciate the YW. I love the YW. You all are my family. So I'm looking forward to having a good chat today.
Yes. Well, and I'm so glad that you pointed that out, because I always try to remind women, because, we don't always stand in our space, right, of our accomplishments. That's not always something that's comfortable to us. But I really like to take the time to read them so that the person can hear them and remember them, and remember who you are. So, but you are, and again, you're so much more than what I read, which I know. And we have Amy on here also. Amy Weiner is shouting out to you too. As I said, we've honored you at the organization. I think I first met you, I was trying to think through Mocha Moms. which you're
I
a
think so.
past president of Mocha
Mhm.
Moms, and I know that you were a force there in terms of really helping move that organization, to a different place, and then passing it off to, I believe, was it Tiffany next?
That
Was
it
that
was
your
Tiffany.
pass
Yep.
off? Yeah, I know she's on here too. So you are, I know, and I know we have HR stuff to talk about, but here's a question for you. You are a busy, busy woman. You have your hands in so many areas. I mean, and recently you've really stepped into some new spaces, like your ministerial work is now, you've kind of taken that to a new level recently as well. Also, I know what an involved mom you are, and I can't even believe how tall your son is, by the way. But anyway, I know I've even watched you raise this beautiful, beautiful boy into, an amazing young man. I know you're very active with your family. You're an amazing professional in terms of your work. You're connected to so many different women's circles, and you also have a strong connection with your own, friends circle. How do you do that all and keep such a light? Because you really are a light. I mean, I see it shining as I'm looking at you here. And that's not the Zoom backgrounds, right? I mean, it literally is, it is who you are. How do you keep that light? How do you keep that light and that positivity, with so much going on around you?
It's so funny you say that, Helen, because I received several messages just this week saying, "Oh my gosh, you're amazing. How do you do it all?" One other person said, "I'm just tired looking at like one day and I cannot like even think about doing all that you do, and you smile and you're positive." She's like, "Do you sleep?" I sleep. I sleep well. I sleep at least 8 hours every day. And I have to say, I have a really good balance. I have a really good balance, and I have a really good support system. Um, I'm not overwhelmed. I take pieces here and there of what I can do, and I understand the word no, and I
Mm.
use it often. So I may help with one group once a quarter, or I may help with another group only once a month for 30 minutes. So it looks like it may be busy, but I don't know. I have an amazing support system who helps me a lot. And my first priority is that kid that is almost 6'2" right now. I looked at him this morning and my neck went up. But I say a very healthy balance.
You said some important things in that mouthful there, my dear. You said you sleep 8 hours. You said you have an incredible support system. You said the word no, right? Which a lot of us, forget. I mean, thank you for sharing all of that, because sometimes we need to model, and hear, how others are doing it when we are not feeling like we are balanced and in that space. So and again, I know how much you do, and you do it very intentionally. You're never half anywhere. You're always all there, which I can, say about you as well.
Yeah, I have to say too that I'm extremely organized. I live by my calendar
Mm.
to manage both my life and Nehemiah's life, and I usually only am doing things on the weekends. So Monday through like Thursday, I'm a hermit. I'm
Mm.
like curled up in the evenings with a blanket doing absolutely nothing. I have so many do nothing evenings.
Thanks.
It just looks like I'm busy, I guess, because I'm doing something almost every weekend. But during the week, I'm a hermit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good to know too. It's good to know too that helps create that balance, that you can, energize and stay focused on your family, during the week, and then,
Yeah,
you
it's
know, feed
important to
yourself.
know. Yeah, it's important to know too, to know your body, know what you can do and what you can't do. Like, you can't be everything to everybody. And my heart, I wish I had a clone because I want to do so much
Mm.
for and with everyone, but I'm just not able to. But just being able to understand when the body is like, if you take me out to one other event today, we are not going to do okay. And just listening to that and say, I'm not going to be able to make this. I am going to send you a gift. Let's reschedule for another time. And with love and sincerity, and being genuine and authentic about it.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So, you know, you're you're a woman-owned business that you've got. You know, you've got your own, your own powerhouse business that you've created. Can you talk to us a little bit about your HR work and, how you landed in that space and, and kind of it's so connected. When I think about you and who you are, it makes so much sense that that's the kind of work you do, by the way. But I'm assuming that that's how you ended up there.
Yeah, I was talking to a colleague the other day, and I was like, what we do is ministry. It's really a part of a ministry. And he's like, when you think about it, it is on how we provide service to people and support people and provide them with career opportunities and assist them along their career path. But I started the business not too long after I gave birth to Nehemiah, a little over 14 years ago, because I just had a lot of folks asking me about resume advice, career advice, compensation negotiation, and a lot of different areas in HR. And I was just providing advice, genuinely, just telling them, what I knew and sharing what I knew and what I had learned and from my own experiences, both good and not so good. So I started a very small boutique consulting business and just provided those services. And over the years, it has grown to more clients or interested applicants who wanted individual services or small businesses that wanted services. But I also work full time. I was contracting, and then they hired me to be the head of talent acquisition for a luxury real estate firm in New York. So on top of doing the business and accepting clients on an as needed basis, I also work full time, and I find joy in it. I really do find joy in it. The clients that I service, I'm authentic with them. That's a key word for me in this season. Even in business, I feel like people do business with people first.
Mm.
So I could have this amazing portfolio of the services that I provide, but I feel like if I don't jive well with the client, or if I don't see that, their values or their mission may not align with, how mine align, it, maybe I'll refer them to someone else. But people do business first, I feel, with people. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the services that I'm able to provide, the compliments, the recommendations. I don't take that lightly. I don't, all of what you read, all of what I do, I don't take it lightly at all. It's a blessing to me every day. I hope I answered something you asked.
You answered it. You answered it fully, and I think that that's a great place to be able to evolve your business to, where you can say, and you could say, what, this person, wants to do something, but they're not for me. So let me send them to somebody else who's more aligned with them, and stay focused on your values, your goals, your path, and stay. I mean, that's a great place to be in business, and wonderful that you evolved to that point, and not surprised at all. So when you're working with organizations, I know that that's a key piece for you, and you've done so much for us with our WEN events, and supported our women career programs. But when you're doing, when you're working with an organization, tell us some of your measures for, you know, if an organization is doing it right, and I feel like knowing measures is good for anyone who already has a business, and also sometimes those measures really you can take and look at things from your personal perspective too once we know them.
I agree. You can definitely tell how an organization is doing by their people. This is just my opinion, both personally and professionally. You can understand the culture, the feel of an organization by their people. How are the people interacting with one another? How are they interacting and communicating with leadership? Is there high turnover? So measuring retention versus turnover. Surveys are always good to get honest feedback on, and of course they work better when they're anonymous and folks can just speak freely, but that's a helpful tool also to measure how an organization is doing. Are they on the right path for success? Are they on the right path to achieve their goals and the strategic plan that have been set forth. But definitely, I would say the people. I've seen organizations where uh, you can feel the tension when folks aren't getting along well, or if it's not a positive environment without anyone really saying anything. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Folks want to join organizations where you hear folks talking positive about the organization. Helen, if someone comes to you and asks about the YW, and wow, you're a CEO there, and that's amazing, and you say, yeah, it's all right. Well, that's concerning.
Yeah. You want someone to exude it. And I have to say, that's so on point about that connection of the people. I'm wondering though, in this time of COVID, when everyone is working remotely, as an HR professional, how um what are some tricks for people to still feel that connection to each other and that excitement about where they're working, because we've got so much hanging on us right now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. This virtual environment has been challenging for a lot of folks, but I love Zoom. I'm a Zoom girl, and I thought that has truly become a great way, not just Zoom, but the other platforms too. But I'm just most familiar with Zoom. Having those Zoom meetings, having those FaceTime conversations, even on your phone, and you can still stay connected. You want to definitely just stay connected with your people, and you want to stay connected with them in this virtual environment where you can see them, because you can often hear a person just say, I'm okay, I'm okay. But if you see them, when you're used to seeing someone, you are able to tell when something's off. If they're not doing well, if they're not as positive as they usually are, you can usually tell that once you see a person, if something's off. And you want to be able to just continue that communication, the open communication.
So that is great advice, and from the connection perspective, I'm hearing you talk, and I'm thinking about something that I just know of you that I just would love for you to be able to share a little bit about. Is you really are a mentor for so many. And recently you were just given a tremendous honor because of work that you've been doing at Rider University, which I know I for our viewers, I said to her, it's not even in your bio. Why is that not in your bio? I'm going to lift it up. But it's, it was such a testament to see that, because I know how you always show up to your school and help the next generation. And I know you do it in other places as well, but that you've really kept that commitment to, your university that gave so much to you. And I think that that's part of what makes that connection for people. So can you talk a little bit about what mentorship has been in your life and how you've, now kind of turned it around for others?
Mentorship has and still is a major part of my life. I don't care at what level a professional uh, arises to. I feel like everyone needs a mentor. I'm sure the president of the United States has a mentor. I think it's important for everyone to have a mentor. I've always had a mentor since I was in high school, and I didn't take that lightly on the time that folks took out to pour into me. That was really important. At Ryder, once I started my career working with vice presidents in corporate America, telling me what is good for me, what is not good for me, and being honest about it. I think that's the most important thing about having a mentor and that relationship. You don't really want a yes corner where everything you do, they're like, oh, yes, that's wonderful. You want someone to tell you, here's an area that you can improve. Here's something that you can consider so that you can make it better next time. So because so many folks have done that and are still doing that for me, I feel it's only right, and just how I was raised, to make sure that I pay it forward. I don't like to bag or boast, and I don't like a lot of attention. But I recently had said to Ryder, once I had got became the honoree and got the award, I said, I need you to identify another HR student so that I can pay for her books or his books for next semester. And they're like, oh my God. I'm like, do you know what folks did for me here? Like, there was a time where, it was one semester where they're like, we don't know if you're going to be able to continue for financial reasons. Miraculously, something happened and they're like, you're all clear. I still to this day don't know the conversations that happened. I just know they said, it's been resolved. You're all good. You can continue. So I think that it's important for sure to have a mentor, have a positive attitude, have an open relationship and communication with that mentor, and continue to pay it forward and always give back.
And you're not bragging or boasting, but let's tell everyone the award that you got. You got entered into the Hall of Fame, I believe it was. Is that right? I
did.
So into the Hall of Fame of Rider University.
I know one of my best friends, she yelled at me yesterday on text. She's like, oh my God, congratulations. I was like, oh, it's all right. I'm going to have a chit chat with Helen. She put an exclamation point. Stop downplaying everything you do. I was like, all right.
All right. Don't worry. Tell whoever that was, they should know that I'm never going to let you downplay anything about yourself. And I am always going to lift you and others up, because that's that. And I think that's always why I connected with you so much, is because I think we're, from that perspective, come from the same cloth about staying positive, staying connected to people, and lifting, others around us and feeding them. And I really appreciate that about you. And I also, as you know, our moms have met, and I also feel that tremendous connection, because you and your mom have an amazing bond. I mean, she is by far, she's such your cheerleader. She's such a lovely person and such a light as well. So not surprising that that's, who brought you into the world to me. But it seems, what is so wonderful, talking about authentic, it's woven, what you're talking about, what you're espousing, is in every aspect of your life coming through. And thank you for lifting up the importance of being a guardian angel for someone, like buying someone's books, and like someone did for you. I think so many times we all think about at the holidays about giving food to a pantry, which we should do, but we need to do that kind of stuff year round. And we need to be thinking about opportunities like that someone wouldn't think of, but there are so many students that are struggling. Higher education is so expensive. And
Yes.
Books are so expensive. I'm an adjunct professor myself, and I never use a textbook for that reason, because it upsets me what my students would have to pay for, to learn. But it's such a gift to be thinking about that for people, and I appreciate you putting that out there, so maybe our viewers can think about other ways that they can just show up in people's lives without ever getting any credit for it, but just knowing that you lifted someone up.
I agree, Helen. I do.
So tell me also, you're such a good people reader. And I know obviously you do it for a living because of your business. What are some of the red flags that, as people looking for jobs? I know we have a lot, job seekers are connected to the YW because of our Next Chapter program and so many of our women's initiatives. And also just in life, with friendships and people that you connect with. What are some of those red flags that, that you think about and keep in mind, when you're assessing situations for yourself?
A really good question. I'll take it first from the workforce perspective. I speak to job applicants all the time who are looking to make career changes, and they want to know about culture in an organization. They want to know about, just compensation. So I spend time ensuring that people understand to ask those specific questions when they're looking for opportunities, because right now there are so many jobs out there. The market right now, like I always tell folks who are in transition these days, if anyone wants to work, there's a ton of jobs out there for so many different industries. The market is amazing. It's a candidate's market right now to be very selective, ask for what they want. So I would say for red flags is when you're communicating with someone from an organization, just going back a little bit to, if I was interviewing at the YW for a position, what do the folks look like that are walking around? Are they happy? Are they communicating with one another? Do they are they laughing, or do you feel a positive sense in the air? How's your conversation with the person that you're interviewing with? Um, Ask them, how long have they been there? The folks that you're meeting with, who you're interviewing with, how long have they been there? Why do they stay there? Why are they staying there? Why are they deciding to stay? Why should I join? Ask them, why should I join your organization? It's a red flag if someone can't answer those questions in a positive way. That's definitely a red flag. You can also look up online about companies' performance, how they're doing financially. Those could be red flags also that you can look out for. There's different websites that you can look up to learn a little bit about some of the comments that folks are sharing. Glassdoor.com is one site that you can look up and learn a little bit about what folks are saying about that company. Some of those comments could be red flags. LinkedIn, I'm a huge advocate for LinkedIn on communicating with folks there. You can ask someone else what are their thoughts about the company. If they don't have a positive response or a positive story about it, that could also be a red flag. I'll take some of that over on the personal side. I'm very spiritual, so that's important to me, to ensure that I have a positive circle and folks who bring peace to me and not chaos. So if I feel that, and you don't have to be mean about it. We've had situations where, we've had folks that we just don't click, and that's okay. And certain red flags, could be if you are, having a good friend that may be talking poorly about, where they work or their family members or their friends. That's not kind of what I would want around me and my immediate circle, the energy that I want to carry on or to be around my friends and family. So definitely red flags on, how others are speaking about those who they should be respecting.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, because and talking in both of those areas, because again, obviously I know you can speak to the HR, but I also know, you really do have so many strong circles around you. And I think as women, sometimes we don't realize how much the people around us, feed us, and they either feed us positively or negatively.
Yeah.
And it is one of those things that as women, and friends, and how we artfully and skillfully invite and also remove people from our lives, to keep that positivity around us in a circle. So thanks for giving us some thoughts around that. So for our viewers, I'm going to make sure you know how to find Tanisha. We're putting in the comments for you the link to Key HR Consulting, which is her boutique HR business that she talked about. I'll tell you, she's always my go-to email, go-to text, go-to question when I have an HR quandary. For the YW, she always has a good advice or good connection for me, and she has always been wonderful to come in and speak to our women's groups and help lift them up for so many years now. So we're so grateful to her for her support and her service. And we've had Kerry join us also since we started, to Tanisha. Obviously there's so much love for you in our community because of all that you give and put out there. We're thankful for you and so glad that we could share this time together today.
Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you, YW. Thank you, everyone who joined. I love you all more than you know.
Will, we love you too. You've definitely got a fan club. There's no doubt. And for the rest of you, we've got more YWTV for you this week. We hope you can join us tomorrow. I'll be speaking to Ruthie Peretti of Ruthie's Barbecue and Pizza in Montclair, New Jersey. And if you are not familiar with Ruthie and her establishment there, it's a very special place, and you can learn a little bit more about why that is tomorrow when you join us. And we wish everyone a great day. Stay warm. Keep the light glowing like Miss Tanisha has. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Be well, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.